day and welcome to this tutorial class. Okay, so for today we'll be looking into a fresh topic titled isometric drawing. Okay, so for this particular course we'll be covering a very wide scope. We'll be covering a very wide scope ranging from the basics of isometric drawing to the principle of isometric curve, then orthographic projection, then isometric views. When I say isometric views, I mean converting from orthographic projection back to isometric projection. All right. So my name is Oluwatunbi Blessing Olalekan, the founder of maekllllabs. All right. So, and we also have a YouTube platform. It spans over 40 countries as at this time of speaking. All right. And to the grace of God, we have over 1,500 followers on YouTube. Yeah. So you can check on our YouTube channel for free tutorial videos. All right. So that's it. So the name of the YouTube channel is maekllllabs. maekllllabs. All right. So the very first one I'm going to start with right now is the isometric drawing. Isometric drawing. So settle down, get your instruments ready as we move on. All right. What are the instruments you are going to need for this course? You are going to need a drawing board, a drawing paper, a mathematical set, a T-square, an eraser. You understand? And if probably, bigger set square, then a compass. All right. So if you have that, then we are good to go. So I'm going to advise you to just keep calm down. If you don't get a particular aspect or an area, kindly reverse the video. All right. So I'm going to make this concept much more simple. All right. Then I hope at the end of the whole tutorial course, you will have the course to laugh. All right. So as I said earlier on, the very first concept we'll be looking at is isometric drawing. Okay, isometric drawing. So isometric drawing is one of the family of pictorial drawing. All right. So in pictorial drawing, we have three major families in pictorial drawing. We have the isometric drawing, we have the oblique drawing, then we have the what? We have the perspective drawing. Okay. So if I say pictorial family or pictorial drawing, what does this imply? This implies that you've seen an object in a pictorial form. All right. So take a look at these two objects on the board and take a look at this. All right. You know, this is actually a plane shape or a plane figure. Yes or no? So this and this, you can see these differences. You can see what the differences in between them. So this is a plane figure, a two-dimensional figure, while this is a three-dimensional figure, and it's what? It is viewed pictorially, because merely looking at these drawings on the board, it looks real. It looks real. So if I have this particular object on the board in real life, you'll be able to deduce that, okay, this particular item on the board, this sits in what? In real life. Okay, so back to where I am actually coming from. So at the inception of this class, I said we'll be looking into what? Isometric drawing, followed by we'll also be looking into isometric circle. Okay, we'll be looking into orthographic, and we'll be looking into isometric views. So this orthographic simply means we are going to be converting from what? From three-dimensional, that is from isometric drawing to what? To two-dimensional. That is what orthographic actually entails. All right. So while isometric view simply means we are going to be converting from plain figure like this towards to pictorial figure. All right, we are going to convert it from what? From orthographic drawing to what? To isometric. That is what this actually entails. Okay, so and one thing is this: the basics of engineering drawing is actually these four concepts I'm going to actually share with you today. So if you can understand these four concepts very well, then you will have no problem understanding anything that has to do with what? With machine or what? Or engineering drawing. Okay, so that is it. So back to where I actually stopped earlier. Okay, so isometric drawing is a drawing which is projected at an angle of 30 degrees to the horizontal. When I say an angle of 30 degrees to the horizontal, what does that imply? So kindly look up. Okay, I'm having an horizontal line in this one, then I have a what? I have this line right here. Okay, so that's it. So I'm having this here, and what? And this here. So initially, you know, total angle, total angle from this area down here, moving in this axis down here is what? Is 360. So as it's here now, the angle from here to here is what? 120 degrees. All right. So while also the angle from here down here is what? 120 degrees. While the angle from here to here is also what? Is 120 degrees. All right. But isometric now, you know, the angle at this junction, this area is a perpendicular. So the angle at this junction here is what? Is 90. So, but the angle from here to here is what? Is 30 degrees, and that is what we denote as what? As isometric. Okay, so look at this object on the board. So we are going to produce it together, using the principle of what? Of isometric drawing. Using the principle of isometric drawing. But before we proceed, there are some instruments which I'm going to actually, I will want you to familiarize yourself with this instrument. And this particular instrument is very, very useful when it comes to drawing isometrically. All right, when it comes to drawing isometrically. Okay, in your mathematical set, you have this. Look at this. You have this, and you also have this. All right. So this is a 30-60 degree set square. When I say 30 degree by 60 degree set square, what does that imply? That implies that this longest part, the angle at this longest part, if I am going to draw to the horizontal, is what? Is 30 degree. While this shorter side, this other side, this shorter side, the angle on this plane to the horizontal is what? It is 60 degree. Therefore, 30 degree plus 60 degree gives me a perpendicular, which is what? Which is 90 degree. All right. So while this second one, this is a 45 degree by 45 degree set square. All right. This is a 45 degree by 45 degree set square. So that is the angle here is what? 45 degree. Here is also what? 45 degree to the what? To the horizontal, and that gives us what? Angle 90 degree. All right. So for isometric drawing, which of this set square do we use? Which of this set square do we use? We make use of this. This 30-60 degree set square. This is the one we use majorly for what? For isometric drawing. Because isometric drawing, they are plane. Look at this object here. The angle they make to the horizontal axis is what? Is 30 degree. So, and to have that correctly, we make use of what? Of this 30-60 degree set square. All right. So it is not just only this. For you to have a perfect isometric drawing with little or no defect, you need this particular instrument known as the T-square. Take a look at this. This is what? The T-square. So the combination of this T-square and your set square is going to give you a perfect isometric drawing. All right. So as I said earlier, just relax, calm down, ensure you have your instrument with you as we move on. All right, as we proceed. Okay, so looking at the board right now, we are going to reproduce this object in isometric form. We are going to reproduce it as it is in isometric form. All right. it is actually in isometric form, but this is a rough sketch. Okay, this is a rough sketch. So we are producing this object right now in what? In isometric form. All right. So what is the very first thing I am going to do? The very first thing you need to do if you want to construct in isometric is to produce an horizontal line. Okay, that is the first procedure. Produce an horizontal line. So what do you use to produce a horizontal line? We are going to make use of a t-square, this, to produce our horizontal line. Okay, so, and this is my t-square. Let me actually chip this in. In the use of this t-square, you must ensure that this stock, this t-stock here is not shaking. All right, you can see this one is what is held firmly. And precaution number 2 is this: ensure that your t-square is well flushed to the edge. You can see just like this, well flushed. All right, well flushed, such that it's light. Don't position it this way or this way, such that there is a gap. No, you must ensure that there is no gap in between this surface and the edge of your drawing board when drawing with what? With a t-square. Okay, kindly ensure that. Kindly ensure that. All right. Okay, right on the screen here. Okay, this is my what? This is going to act as my ruler. All right, this is going to act as my ruler, and it is calibrated in millimeters. All right, in millimeters. So 10 millimeters, 20 millimeters, 30 millimeters, 40 millimeters, 50 millimeters, 60 millimeters. All right, so that is my ruler right there. Okay, so to produce this object on the screen now, the very first thing we are going to do is to produce our horizontal line in this one. After producing our horizontal line with our t-square, ensure it doesn't shake, ensure it flushes. Then the next procedure is to produce a vertical line. Okay, your t-square sitting perfectly on the board and your set square sitting on it in this manner. Then you what? You draw. Okay, so having it in this one, the next thing is to produce our isometric plane. Okay, and this comes this way. Okay, and towards the other side here, ensure this flush. Okay, after doing that, the next procedure is this: pick your compass or your ruler and measure mark of what? Mark of 15. So this is my ruler on the board right here. Okay, so from point 0 to point 5. All right, and that's it. That's mark 50 there. So with mark 50 from the base here, I strike an arc. All right, that's it. So towards this axis, we are told that the distance here is what? Is 40. So with my compass, I measure mark 40, which is this. Okay, so from this junction also, I strike another arc. That's 40. The height here, we are told that is what? Is mark what? 40. So with the same mark 40 from the center here, I strike another arc. All right. So that is it. So from this junction to this area is what? Is 50. This junction down here is what? Is 40. This junction to the top here is what? Is 40. So what do I do now? What do I do? So just relax and follow me as I proceed. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do here is this: picking my set square and my t-square, right? So with my t-square sitting perfectly right here and my set square sitting comfortably on it, you understand? Ensure this one is properly fixed to the board and this one is sitting perfectly on top of the t-square. After doing that, I draw. Okay, so then right here also, I draw. Can you see? All right. So what's the next procedure? The next procedure is this: with my set square to this junction right here, I draw. Then to this junction right here, I draw. Can you see? Okay, so what is the next thing to do? I don't think I need this area. I'm going to erase this area right here. Okay, so the very next thing we are going to do is this. Okay, with my set square right here, right, and my, can you see? You draw in that area, right? Then in this one, ensure this one flushes to the edge here. Then this sitting perfectly on it. In this manner, I'm going to what? I'm going to draw. All right, that's it. So if not for the space, they actually what? Meet, intersect at this junction here. So that is the production of this particular object isometrically. You can see we only measured how many times? 3 times. We measured this area to this area, this area to this area, and this area to this area. So that is the advantage of using your set square and your T-square to draw isometric drawing. Okay, so that is that about that. So let's produce this second object. Let's produce this second object. So for us to produce this second object, take note of this. The dimension from here to here is what? Is 50, the same as this area here. The dimension from here to here is 40. Yeah, this area to this area is what? Is 40, the same as this area here. While the height from here to here is what? Is 40. Okay, so which means this 50 by 40 by 40 is this. All right, which is this here. But this area now, this L-shaped area that was carved out of it, how do we get that? So for you to reproduce this kind of object, the very first thing you need to do is to produce a rectangular box of that dimension. All right, so after producing that rectangular box, so the next thing is to now cut this area out of it. So for this reason, I won't erase this object. We are just going to what? Cut this area out of this whole object, since they are of the same dimension. All right, so the height from here to here is what? Is 20. When the other height is 40 and here to here is 20, that implies that what? This area to this area is also what? Is 20. So with your ruler or your compass or wherever you are using to do your own dimension over there, pick the length of what? Of 20. Pick length of 20. Okay, so from mark 0 here, okay, to mark 2 here, that is my own what? That is my 20. So placing it right here, I strike an arc. Okay, so from here down here is what? Is 20. All right, that is settled. So from this area to this area right here is the same thing as here to here. It is what? It is also what? It is 20. It is 20. Okay, one thing I need to call your attention to is this. This line at the bottom here, this one at the top here, they are what? They are parallel to each other. They are parallel to what? To each other. The same thing applies to this here. This line, and this line, they are what? They are parallel to each other. Why this line here, and this line here, they are what? They are parallel to each other. The same thing applies to this and this and this. They are what? They are parallel to each other. What does parallel line implies? Parallel line actually means a line seated on the same plane and at the same angle towards each other. The distance between them doesn't matter. All right, the distance doesn't matter. For example, now let's assume I'm having this. Okay, so if the angle here is angle y and the angle here is also y, here is y, and the angle it makes from here to here is also y, I am going to say that this line is parallel to this, and this is also parallel to this, and this is also parallel to this. Okay, that is, they are sitting on the same plane and at the same angle towards each other. All right, so so back to the problem on the board. We are producing this. Okay, we already reproduced a complete box. Just as I told you, for you to get this area, you must produce its complete box, which is this. So then we said this to this is what is 20, which is here to here. That's the mark 20. We said the mark from here to here is also what is 20. So with my compass, I measure 20. You can measure that with your ruler over there. That was mark 20 right there. So from here, there is what is 20. Okay. After having that, then what else do I do now? I'm going to rip this area out now. Just sit down, be rest assured, and follow suit as I proceed. Okay, so with my T-square, I told you ensure your T-square sits perfectly, ensure it flushes, because if not, it's going to disrupt your drawing. All right. So with my T-square sitting perfectly and my set square sitting vertically a bit, I'm going to draw this line here. And I'm going to advise you, your initial drawing should be in thin line first, so that whenever you want to erase, it can be easier for you to use your eraser. All right. Draw with thin line first. So I've drawn this line right here. Then I'm going to position my set square in this manner. I'm going to draw this also like this. Can you see? Okay, so this shape now I'm going to interpret it to the back here by what? By the use of my what? My set square. So placing this right here, okay, I'm going to project this down here. Can you see? All right. So likewise, I'm going to project this from the top here. This junction, I'm going to project it also. Down there. Can you see? Can you see? Okay. So as not to confuse yourself, this area is out of the way. All right. And this area is also what? Out of the way. Can you see that it's looking like this? Yes or no? Okay. So the next thing is this. This is the next procedure. This is the next procedure. I can also remove this area out. I don't need it anymore. All right. So next procedure is this. From this junction with my set square sitting in this manner, I'm going to what? Draw. Can you see? Then from this junction at the top here, vertically, I'm going to what? Draw. Do you see? So I'm going to chip this area off. Can you see? Then with my set square position in this manner, I'm going to what? Draw. As you can see. So that is it. So I don't need this part any longer. That is why I said you should draw with what? With thin line for the start. Draw with thin line. Okay, so we have this object now. So what does that imply? That implies that for me to have this object, I need to what? Recreate this. Then from here, I rip this area out of it. So that is it on the board. That is it on the board. Okay. So aside from these two drawings, we are going to do some advanced isometric drawing. We are going to step it up. All right. So for these ones, I'm going to do it right on paper. You know, you're also drawing on paper. Wherever location you are drawing on paper. So I'm going to produce maybe 2 or 3 isometric drawing examples on paper for you to see. Okay, for you to see. Because in some scenarios, there are isometric drawing of this form. Okay, you might have isometric drawing, something like this. Okay, so take a look at this particular drawing now. So look at this area. Its dimension will be given, but the dimension given is going to be from this area here down here. They won't give you from here to here. It is going to be here to here. So what does that imply? That implies that this object you are seeing, by the time you are going to draw it isometrically, you are not given its true length. Okay, you are not given its true length. But don't let me to actually confuse you. All right. So leave that for now. By the time we get to our new topic, which is true length and true shape, we are going to actually understand that concept very well. But let's produce an object like this on a drawing paper. All right, on a drawing paper. Thank you. Okay, so we will be producing the object on the screen in what? In isometric form. Just like I said earlier on, the only instrument we'll be using here is what? The ruler, the t-square, and what? And the 30 by 60 degree what? Set square. All right. And as I said earlier on, I said ensure your t-square is what? Is properly fitted on the drawing board such that it flushes with the edge and you can slide where? To and what? And fro in this manner. All right. So ensure you abide by those principles. Ensure you abide by those principles. Okay, so to produce the object on the screen right now, the very first thing we are going to do is to produce a vertical line. Okay, we produce a vertical line in this manner. All right, so after producing this vertical line, the very next procedure is to pick our set square. All right, align it in this manner and produce our line at 30 degrees to the horizontal, which is what? The isometric plane. Then towards this axis also, I produce it at what? 30 degrees to the horizontal, which is what? Isometric plane. So the angle within this area down here is what? Is 30 degrees. Likewise, the angle within this area is what? Is 30 degrees. Okay, so and as I said earlier on, ensure the lines you are projecting are what? Are projected with what? Thin line, which is what? Construction line, first of all, so that in case of any mistake you can what? Erase the mistake out completely. All right, so now let's proceed. Okay, so towards this mark on the question, we have a mark of 20. First of all, mark of 20, then followed by what? Followed by 50. So I am going to do that right now. Mark of 20, then 50, which is what? 70. So placing my ruler on mark 70 right here, I mark that mark of 20 and that mark of what? 50, as you can see right there. Okay, so after taking that mark, I am going to what? Draw that mark vertically before I proceed. I'm going to project those marks vertically in this manner, like this, yeah, with construction line, thin line. All right, and this, as you can see on the screen right there. Okay, so towards this plane, I'm having a mark of 30, then 20, then 10, which is what? 40. So with my ruler, I measure the mark of 30, which is this, and that mark of 10. So which makes it what? 40. So likewise on this plane, I am going to what? Project it vertically. I am going to project it vertically in this manner. All right, so having it that way, now the total height looking from the back, yeah, from this end here, is what? Is 30. So with my ruler, I measure mark of what? Mark of 30, which is it right there. All right, so I am going to pick my set square. You understand? Place it on that mark of 30, drawing at angle 30 degrees. I draw. Okay, that's it on that mark of what? On that mark of 30. Okay, so that's just it. So this same mark of 30 as it is now, I am going to what? Project it towards this area with my what? With my set square. I'm going to project this towards that area with my what? With my set square. at angle 30 degrees. So that is it, as you can see. So this line is parallel to this. Likewise, this line is also what is also parallel to what, to this. Okay, after doing that with my 30-60 degree set square, I'm going to slide it, yeah, at angle 30 degrees towards this area right here, and what, and draw. All right, after drawing it to that extent, the next procedure is to what, place my set square on angle 30 degrees. Yeah, every of the line I'm going to be drawing it on what, 30 degrees to what, to the horizontal, which is my set square. So doing the same thing, I'm going to what, project it from this junction, then what, down there. So as you can see, they actually meet here. So I have a what, I have a rectangle. All right, I have a rectangle. So what's next? Towards this area, yeah, we have mark of what, 20 to the front here. So I'm going to pick my ruler and measure that mark of what, that mark of 20. So here, down here is what, 20. After marking it out, the next procedure is what, pick my set square at angle 30 degrees. Okay, so I'm drawing a line on this area, which is what, parallel to this very line here. So I'm going to do that now, and that is this. Draw with thin line first. All right, that's just it. And we're told that the height of that chamber here is what, is mark of what, mark of 10. But before I measure that mark of 10, let me project a vertical line right here. Okay, I'm projecting a vertical line right here. Okay, that is the vertical line right there. So I will now measure it, because we are told that it is a mark of what, mark of 10. So from there I measure what, 10, and this is what, that is 10 right there. Okay, since I have 10 at that junction, then I'm going to what, project that 10 here. I'm going to project it this manner with my 30-60 degree set square down to this area right here. Okay, so from this junction, I'm also going to what, draw it downward vertically. All right, I'm drawing it downward vertically, which is going to be this, and that's this right here. All right, that's it right there. Okay, after doing that, what next? What next? So as not to confuse ourselves, I'm going to advise you to erase these lines off, so that you won't confuse yourself. All right, as you can see, so that you won't confuse yourself, erase them off. Okay, so I think the picture is getting clearer now. All right, it's getting clearer. Then I don't need this part also, as you can see. So I can what, I can erase them off. You can erase them off. All right, so I think the picture is getting clearer now. So all I need is this bottom part, this area, then we are done. Okay, so how do we achieve that? How do we achieve that? So we were told that the distance from here down here is what, is 50, which we already have there. So the next thing is to what, pick our 30-60 degree set square and what, and project in this manner. All right, from this junction right here, we project it downward. All right, okay, so from this very mark, we are going to what, project it with our what, with our 30-60 degree set square at what, at angle 30 degree. So we project it what, down to this junction here. All right, projecting it down there, and do not forget that the mark from this area to this area is what, is that mark of what, mark of 20. So this portion actually ends right here. Okay, it ends right here. So then the next thing is what, pick my set square at angle 30 degree, drag a line inwards in this manner. All right, so after dragging that line inwards in that manner, okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is measure mark of what, mark of 30 from this area, mark of 30. So this is that mark of what, this is that mark of 30 right there. So at that mark of 30, I am going to pick my set square and what, project a line outside in this manner. Okay, I'm projecting this out in this manner. All right, projecting it out in that manner. What is the next step? Okay, so the next procedure is to pick my set square. All right, come to this junction right here and produce a vertical line downward in this manner. All right, producing it downward in that manner, I'm going to pick my set square at angle 30 degrees to this junction here. I'm going to project it to the junction right there. Okay, so from this junction right there with my set square also at angle 30 degrees, all right, I'm going to project this from this junction right out here. All right, you can see we are almost there. So likewise, I'm doing the same thing from this junction right out here. All right, so then I'm going to pull it all together now from this junction in this manner. Okay, so that's it. So what's the next thing to do? Next thing is to thicken my real object out. So with my ruler, I'm going to slide this up there, and I'm going to thicken it out. This comes here, this comes here, this comes here, right? This comes here. Okay, so this is here, this is here. All right, so this goes there, as you can see. Then this comes right here down to this junction here in this manner. So as you can see, so that is our that is our object. All right, so another thing I want to call your attention to is the art of dimensioning our object. Okay, so I'm going to dimension this just as it is in the question up there. All right, so this comes right here. Okay, so the height here is 30. The width here is 40. Okay, so the span right here to this junction here, you can see. So your dimension line must be parallel to it, to your object. Yeah, it must be parallel to it. So right here, the dimension there is what is 20. Okay. Okay, so that is the complete drawing with its dimensioning on the screen right there. Okay, so let's try two more drawing in isometric drawing before we actually proceed. The very first thing is to produce your horizontal line, as you can see here. Then after that, we produce what? A vertical line in this manner. After that, with our 30-degree, we produce our what? Our isometric plane towards the right and towards the left, right here. Okay, so that's it. So what's next? The total height of that object, yeah, as you can see on the screen, is what? Is 70 mm. 70 mm. So, and that is what I'm going to do right now. So this is the height of what? Height of 70. Okay, that is 70 mm. That is the height. The total dimension towards this axis, yeah, if we look, is what? Is 45 mm. So with my ruler, I measure mark of what? Mark of 45 mm, which is this. Okay, so towards this axis also is what? Is 45 mm. So from here, I measure mark of what? 45 mm, which is that. So the next procedure is the mark of 45 mm towards this axis, and this axis will be what? Projected upwards. They will be projected upwards. All right. So right here, I project it upward. Right here, I also what? I project it upwards. Okay, so the next thing is the mark of 70, which we have there. We project it on the what? On the isometric axis. Okay, it must be parallel to this line right here, and it will also be parallel to this line right here. All right, in this manner. Okay, so what's next? Let's complete it. Let's make it a complete square box. Okay, so in this manner. All right, then right from this junction in this manner, as you can see on the screen. Okay, so we don't need this, so I'm going to remove this so as not to confuse us. Okay, so let's start from the web which we have at the bottom here. Okay, so this web, we were told that the height is what? Height of 15 mm. Height of 15 mm. So with my ruler, I measure mark of what? Mark of 15 mm right here. So that mark of 15 mm, and we were told that the span here is what? Is 20. So, and the width of what? 20, and that is what I have just done. So after picking those dimensions, the next procedure is pick my set square. All right, picking my set square, coming to that mark of 20 mm right here, projecting a line upward. All right, then to the mark of 15 mm right here, projecting a line in that manner. Can you see? So with that, I'm going to bring it out with my 30-degree set square. I'm going to bring it out with my 30-degree set square in this manner. In this manner, all right. In this manner and in this manner. Can you see? Okay, so what's the thickness coming out here? It is what? 10 mm. So with my ruler, I measure what? Mark of 10 mm, which is this, which is that over there. So having that, I'm going to what? Place this on mark of 10 mm, project it in this manner right there, as you can see. Then what? Wherever it intersects right here, I'm going to what? Draw it this way. Can you see? Then what next? Project this area down here. All right, so after that, picking my ruler, sorry, my set square, then projecting this axis in this manner. So as you can see, the web is ready. So I'm going to what? Thicken it out. I'm going to thicken it out. All right, so this web area is what? Is settled. It is settled. It is settled. So what's next? The next thing is, let's get the chamber at the bottom part here. So we were told that the distance from here to here is what? Is 5. So with my ruler, I measure 5 mm. Yeah. And this is mark 5 mm. So, and we were told that the distance of the web there is what? Is 20. So I measure mark of what? Mark of 20 mm, which is what? The next one there. So on those mark, I'm going to project them vertically with my set square. All right. So this first mark vertically upward, this second mark vertically upward. Can you see? All right. So we are told that the height there is what? Is 25. So with my ruler, I measure mark of what? Mark of 25, which is that over there. Having it that way, I'm going to pick my set square. All right. 30-60 degree set square is what we are going to use throughout. At angle 30 degrees, I project this line in this manner. So having it in that manner, yeah, this goes inside here to show that there is what? A hole here. So with my set square also, I project that part. So having it that way, I'm going to what? Thicken this area out also. I'm going to thicken it out in this manner. This manner. Also, this part right here, okay, down to the top here, right, down to this area here. So then this portion here, right, then this part here, right here, and right here. All right, not forgetting this part here. Okay, so for the hole which we have right here, we are told that from the edge here, the distance down here is what? Is mark of 5 mm. Okay, which is this. And from that mark of 5 mm, we are told that we have a mark of what? 25 mm. So from mark of 5 mm, I measure what? 25 mm, which is this. All right. So I'm going to project those parts first of all. Okay. So sliding my T square and my set square going to the first mark there at angle 30 degrees. I draw at angle 30 degrees also. I draw. Okay, in that manner. So what's next? We are told that the distance from here, right here, the first part there is what? Mark of 5, which is this. Then the next one is mark of what? Mark of 20, which is this. From that mark of what? 5. Okay, having it in that manner, I'm going to what? Draw it with my what? Set square, which is this, and which is this. Okay, so having it in that manner, I'm going to pick my ruler. All right, my ruler, I'm going to draw, going to come right here and draw, right here and draw. Then from that junction, we draw this also. So to indicate that what this area is, what is hollow, there is a hole inside. Okay, so that is the reproduction of the object on the screen. So we can also place the dimension. So ensure that your dimension lines are parallel, yeah, to the area which you are actually dimensioning, just like what we did in the first instance. All right, so from here we move to the third question. We'll be drawing together on what? On isometric projection. So looking at the object on the screen, the very first thing I'm going to do is what? Is to produce my what? My horizontal line. After that, I'm going to what? Produce my vertical line in this manner. All right. After that, I produce my what? My isometric plane. Okay, towards the left hand side and the right hand side. in this manner. So as I said in the previous lectures, ensure your t-square is well flushed to the edge of the drawing board so as not to make any mistake. All right. So after getting the isometric plane, the very next thing is I'm going to pick the total height of the object, which is mark of what 70. So with my ruler from this point here, I pick mark of what 70, which is right here. Okay, then the dimension towards this area is what is 50. Yeah, 50. So I'm going to pick the mark of 50 right here. Then towards this axis also the dimension there is what is 50. So then from this junction I pick the mark of what 50 also. So doing that, I'm going to what to project those area which I measured just now. Okay, from this area, the mark of 50 there, I'm going to project it vertically. I'm trying to form a box, all right, vertically. Then the mark of 70 right here, I'm going to project it on with my what isometric plane, 30 degrees to the what to the horizontal, in that manner. All right, in this manner. All right, so I'm just going to slide this also to that junction right there, upwards in this manner. Then from here to that junction right there, then in this manner. All right, so what is the next procedure now? What is the next procedure? Okay, let's start from the top right here. Yeah, so we have a web, which is a hole right here at the top, and if you see the dimension from the edges is what 10 mm, 10 mm. So mark of 10 right here. From here, mark of 10. All right, so I'm going to project those marks. Okay, remember you have to be using your what your 30 degrees set square, 30 degree. Every horizontal line here is what is at angle 30 degrees. All right, so then also from this area I'm going to pick mark of what 10, and from this area mark of what 10. So also I'm going to draw, and remember the first line I'm using here, they are what they are construction line, otherwise known as what thin line. And the reason why I'm using this line is that if I make any mistake, so that I can erase my error completely. All right, so that is why I'm using what thin line first of all. All right, as it stands now, I don't need this line here, so I'm going to what erase this part, and erase this part. All right, so look at it on the screen now. So we have a junction right here. All right, and we're told that that junction is mark of what mark of 10, 20 towards this area, 20 towards this area, 10 at the middle. So I'm going to do that now. So from here, mark of 20 right here, and that mark of 10 right there. That is it. So I'm going to project it vertically in this manner. All right, so we are told that the height is what, check, it is what 20. So from this portion I'm measuring mark of what 20, which is this. All right, then I'm going to project it on what the isometric plane. Okay, which is that. So then also this top I'm going to what cover it up there using what my 30 degrees set square on the isometric plane. All right, so I think it's done. So then what's the next thing? Let's trace out the top. Yeah, let's trace it out in this manner, this manner, this manner, this manner. All right, so likewise in this manner, this manner. All right, so then I'm having this right here, and this right here. Okay, so now it's my set square. From this junction, I'm going to place this. You need to be careful, like this, as you can see. So this right here, to show that it is what it is a O, like this. So I'm going to what thicken it out right now, which is this, which is this, and this. All right, so we are through with the top as it is over there now. So let's finish this very area here. All right, so the extension out here, yeah, we are told that the height is mark of what? Mark of 30. Mark of 30. So with my ruler from the bottom right here, I measure mark of what? 30. That is it over there. And we are told that the span towards this area is what? Is 15. Okay, so with my ruler, I measure mark of what? 15, which is that right there. Then I'm going to what? Do the projections. So ensure your T-square is properly placed, all right, so that you won't make mistake. And ensure your set square is also properly placed right there. Okay, as it is here. So we are told that the extension outwards is what? Mark of what? Mark of 10. But before that, let me produce the extensions first. Then I'm going to what? Measure it right here. Right here. Right here. So mark of 10. So from here, I measure what? I measure 10. So that is the mark of 10 over there. So from that junction of the mark of 10, I produce this vertically, first of all, in this manner. Then I produce this on the horizontal plane in this manner. All right. I produce it from that junction in this manner. All right. And I produce this from this junction in this manner. So I think I have it. So what's the next thing? The next thing is what? Is to thicken it out. It out. So picking my ruler, placing it here, I draw. So this comes from the top right here down to the bottom. Right, so that is it. So we have it. So then let's just finish this plane. Let's finish it off. Okay, so now where do we need to complete? We need to complete what? This area here. We need to complete this area here. So right here we have a V-shaped object coming out here. Right here we have an extension coming out this way. All right, so and the height of that extension is mark of what? Mark of 40. So from this area I measure mark of what? Mark of 40, which is it over there. So that mark of 40, let me project it on the what? On the isometric plane first of all. All right, so that mark of 40 projected. So as you can see, that's it. So we are told that from this junction inwards here is mark of what? Mark of 30, which is this. All right, that is the mark of 30. So I'm going to pick my set square. All right, then on that mark of 30 right here, project a vertical line upwards. All right, so just follow me. We are told that the thickness of the web right here is what? Is 10. Yeah, so picking the thickness of what? Mark of 10 as it is over there. All right, and we are told that that mark of 10 also, I'm going to project it vertically first of all. Then I'm going to draw my extensions. All right, this junction out towards here in this manner. So we are told that the mark of this of the web here is what? Mark of 40. So from this junction here, I measure 40, which is where? Which is right here. That's the mark of what? 40 right there. So having that mark of 40 with my ruler, I'm going to what? Join like this. Can you see? All right. So picking my set square, all right, picking my set square and the isometric plane from the junction right here, draw an extension inwards. All right, then from this mark of 10 right here, I'm measuring what? Mark 10 also right here. Well, that's the thickness. Then I'm going to what? Also join to the bottom right here, as you can see. So we have it. So the next thing is what? I'm going to what? Thicken it out. I'm going to thicken it out. So this way, in this manner, in this manner, in this manner, right, in this manner, in this manner, in this manner, then finishing it up right here in this manner. Okay, so that is the production of the object on the screen in what? In isometric axis. That's its reproduction. All right, thank you.